Donald Trump has made history as the first former president to be convicted of a felony, with a Manhattan court finding him guilty of 34 counts on May 30th. This verdict marks a significant moment in American history, as the notion that a former president or a major party presidential nominee could face serious legal jeopardy was almost unthinkable not long ago. Now, Trump stands convicted and is scheduled for sentencing this summer. Beyond this conviction, Trump is up against 57 additional felony counts spread across one state court and 2 federal districts, each carrying the potential for a prison sentence. Adding to his legal troubles, Trump recently lost a civil suit in New York that could severely impact his business empire and faces substantial defamation judgments. Yet, amidst these legal battles, he remains the presumptive Republican nominee for president. His legal fate is unfolding simultaneously as his political future is being decided by voters. In the fall of 2022, New York Attorney General Letitia James filed a civil suit against Donald Trump, his adult sons, and former aide Allen Weisselberg. The suit alleges that Trump engaged in a years-long scheme to fraudulently report property values, aiming to either lower his tax bill or secure better loan terms, ultimately inflating his net worth. On February 16th, Justice Arthur Engoron ruled that Trump must pay $355 million plus interest, reflecting the size of his ill-gotten gains from this fraud. Previously, in late September 2023, the judge had already ruled against Trump and his co-defendants, determining that many of their claims were clearly fraudulent, so much so that a trial was unnecessary. Although the case involves fraud totaling hundreds of millions, it is considered somewhat pedestrian compared to some of the other legal issues Trump faces. Importantly, this case is civil, not criminal. Despite lower national stakes, the implications for Trump are significant. The financial penalty is substantial and potentially beyond his means to pay, and he faces a 3-year ban on operating his company. Trump has appealed the case. On March 25th, the appeals court reduced the bond amount he must post from over $464 million to $175 million. He must file his appeal by this summer. In addition to the government-led cases, Donald Trump faced a pair of defamation suits from writer Jean Carroll, who alleged that Trump sexually assaulted her in a department store dressing room in the 1990s. When Trump denied the allegation, Carroll sued him for defamation and later added a battery claim. In May 2023, a jury found Trump guilty of sexually assaulting and defaming Carroll, awarding her $5 million in damages. Subsequently, a second defamation case resulted in an $83.3 million judgment against Trump in January 2024. While these cases don't directly tie into the broader issues of rule of law and democratic governance that some of Trump's criminal cases do, they are nonetheless serious. A federal judge's blunt statement that Trump raped Carroll underscores the gravity of the allegations, a point that has not been widely acknowledged. Trump has appealed both cases, posting bond for the $83.3 million in March. During the second trial, he continued to insult Carroll, potentially opening the door to additional defamation suits. In March 2023, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg made history by becoming the first prosecutor to bring felony charges against Donald Trump. The charges stemmed from allegations that Trump falsified business records as part of a scheme to pay hush money to women who claimed to have had sexual relationships with him. The trial began on April 15th and concluded with a conviction on May 30th. Sentencing is scheduled for July 11th. While the allegations may seem less severe compared to some of Trump's other legal issues, the implications are significant. Many have compared this case to Al Capone's conviction on tax evasion. The crime itself wasn't the source of his notoriety, but it was a legitimate and serious offense. Trump's conviction underscores his efforts to conceal information from the public during the 2016 election, one of his earliest attacks on fair elections. This case, though about falsified records, highlights Trump's pattern of undermining electoral integrity, a theme also seen in his 2 impeachments. The next major step is sentencing, set just days before the Republican National Convention. Trump has promised to appeal the conviction. Jack Smith, a special counsel in the U.S. Justice Department, has charged Donald Trump with 37 felonies related to his removal of documents from the White House when he left office. The charges include willful retention of national security information, obstruction of justice, withholding of documents, and making false statements. Trump transported boxes of documents to his properties, where they were stored carelessly. The indictment focuses on his persistent refusal to return the documents to the government despite multiple requests. Smith filed these charges in June 2023. On May 8, 2024, after several delays, Judge Aileen Cannon announced an indefinite postponement of the trial until preliminary issues could be resolved. Smith faces a de facto deadline of January 20, 2025, as Trump or any Republican president taking office could potentially shut down the case. These charges, while seemingly foolish, are extremely serious. Protecting national secrets is a critical duty of any public official with classified clearance. Trump not only put these documents at risk, but also allegedly refused to comply with a subpoena, attempted to hide the documents, and lied to the government through his attorneys. A guilty verdict in this case appears highly plausible due to the straightforward facts and legal theory. However, Smith faces a challenging judicial environment, as Judge Cannon, a Trump appointee, has consistently ruled favorably for Trump on procedural matters. Some legal commentators have even accused her of sabotaging the case. In Fulton County, Georgia, which encompasses most of Atlanta, District Attorney Fani Willis has brought a substantial racketeering case against Donald Trump and 18 others. The case alleges a wide-ranging conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election results, spreading across multiple weeks and states. Willis obtained the indictment in August 2023. The sheer number of individuals charged makes the case complex and challenging to manage. Several defendants, including Kenneth Chesebro, Sidney Powell, and Jenna Ellis, reached plea deals in the fall. A challenge to Willis's role in the case won't be heard until October, meaning the trial is unlikely to start before the upcoming election. This case stands out because it addresses the extensive assault on democracy following the 2020 election. While opinions vary on the likelihood of a guilty verdict, the case is ambitious for a local prosecutor, even in a large county like Fulton. The racketeering law allows Willis to include a wide range of material, and she has compelling evidence, such as a recorded call where Trump asked Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find approximately 11,000 votes. The plea deals from key co-defendants might bolster Willis's case, but securing a conviction against Trump remains a significant challenge. The case has faced additional complications due to revelations of a romantic relationship between Willis and an attorney she hired as a special prosecutor. On March 15, Judge Scott McAfee refused to dismiss the indictment but criticized Willis sharply. Special Counsel Smith has brought 4 federal felony charges against Donald Trump related to his efforts to retain power after losing the 2020 election. This case is unfolding in Washington, D.C. The grand jury indicted Trump on August 1, 2023. Initially scheduled for March 4, the trial is now on hold pending a Supreme Court decision on whether the former president should be immune to prosecution. Time is of the essence for Smith, as the window for a trial before the election is rapidly closing, and a new Republican president could potentially shut down the case in January 2025. This case carries immense significance, akin to the Fulton County prosecution. While narrower in scope, focusing solely on Trump and key elements of the attempted election subversion, the symbolic impact of the U.S. Justice Department prosecuting such an offense against the American electoral system is substantial. Assessing the likelihood of a guilty verdict is challenging. Smith opted for more conventional charges, bypassing potentially unconventional ones like aiding insurrection. Despite much of the alleged crime unfolding publicly, there is no precedent for a case of this nature, involving a defendant of this stature. As we conclude this update on the legal proceedings against Donald Trump, we encourage you to engage with us. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on future developments. We welcome your thoughts and comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.